Hi, everyone. So let me actually adjust the blinds here. It's been kind of cloudy, but the sun's coming out, so that's nice. So welcome. Welcome to this new moon in Virgo card reading. And just got done reading from who I always read from about this new moon and getting some key words, some key phrases to think about. But first, before we get into that, because I literally am just running to get here myself. So let's take a moment. This is something I, of course, like to do, is let's just all connect for a moment. As some of you know, I like for us just to come together and be in this present moment, letting the day go. You can even kind of shake it off. A lot of you guys know too, I'm into Qigong, and body shaking is a wonderful practice to use when you just want to shake things off. And it has just been a day and a week, and I think for a lot of us it's probably been a couple of weeks, if not more. So let's just come into this space together. Close your eyes. Feel free to close your eyes. And if you'd like, you can place your hand over your heart. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. Slowing down the heart, slowing down the mind, and just connecting. Now, of course, I always sage my space every morning. This is where I spend a lot of my time for my meditation, but we're going to do something different. We're going to sage or cleanse the area because, of course, I've just come from the day job. So I'm going to use my beautiful, this is the Earth 60 Hertz C7 sharp sound. So I'm going to hit it 3 times and just kind of cleanse the area here. Cleanse my cards. I already cleansed the deck. I always cleanse my decks every morning, whichever ones I'm using with Sage or Palo Santo. 2 more times. Just cleansing the area. I just love the sound of this. You know, sound is energy. Sound is healing. I'm sure a lot of you know about sound baths. Had a beautiful one that I was a part of last week, and it was so nourishing. Okay, great. So a couple of things about this new moon in Virgo. Some key things I wrote down is, virtue is its own reward. And this is a time of spiritual purification, really going in deep and purifying and getting rid of spiritual gunk and whatever, of course, that looks like for you. One of the things that I really love this statement is rest in a state of greatness and see the greatness in others. That is true freedom. So we need to, of course, start giving ourselves, some recognition and thinking, I am a great person. You are a great person. So when we see the greatness in ourselves and then see greatness in others, then that kind of dissolves the whole competition thing. That's really how I'm seeing that and what that's meaning. So it is true freedom. When we all recognize each other's beautiful light and greatness, and we're not competing with each other, then that just falls away. The other thing is having compassion without aggressive judgment. They really can't go hand in hand. If you have a compassionate heart or feeling compassionate towards someone, there's no judgment there. Now, I was listening, of course, to my favorite astrologer last night. He does a weekly report. And he did mention, that we do need to have judgment. You can't get rid of judgment. We need it to survive. However, when we start judging others, that just kind of puts us in the seat of not having compassion at all. So if we observe this, we observe where we are and have come to things with compassion, it's very helpful. So we're all on our own journey here. And other things to remember, to keep in mind is, keep doing the things that you want for yourself and do them properly. But remember, and that this needs to be serving the whole, the community, the whole world. The things that we're working on, are these things really helping us as a whole? That's a pretty deep thing to think about. But I really enjoy that pondering of that thought. Is what I'm wanting to do for myself, is this really helping the whole? Am I really serving others? And the last thing I wanted to speak of was forgiveness. Now, again, I listened to Carpaccio last night, and he brought up a wonderful thing. I'm all about forgiveness. However, forgiveness is warranted when both parties discuss and talk about the part that they played in the incident. So in other words, if there's somebody that keeps doing something that is hurtful to you, and they come and say, oh, I'm sorry, I was just this or that, and it continues to be a cycle, and it doesn't really stop, then you really haven't acknowledged each other's part in the situation. I hope that makes sense. So I'll give you an example. So, this is totally nothing personal here for me, but let's say you have someone that, you've been friends with for forever, and they are constantly kind of forgetting to be in touch or stay in touch, or forgetting that you had a time to get together, or, and you keep forgiving them, saying, well, they're really a good person. And it keeps happening over and over and over again. And it becomes quite painful. And actually, I am thinking of an incident personally. But when we forgive each other and you come together and say, listen, I feel that you and I are not communicating anymore, that there really isn't communication for us being friends and getting together. And I no longer want us to have this situation. If you are not willing or wanting to be in this relationship or be a friend and continue to get together, then let's just basically accept each other for who we are and forgive each other and move on. Because here's the kicker. When you forgive someone who constantly does something over and over again, you're really allowing them to continue to do that. There's not real forgiveness there. And if you don't really forgive and they don't accept their responsibility in the situation, then it doesn't really get released. That is a deep thing for me to remember, my friends. And it is hard conversations to have with people when you have been hurt over and over again. And they say, I'm sorry, or whatever the scenario is. But until you really come to that person and say, listen, XYZ you've been doing this to me for so long, and I can no longer do this, but I need you to accept your part in this scenario. And then we can forgive each other. And then it can really be released and we can move on. So keep that in mind. Forgiveness is extremely important. It is if we really want to release these things that we've been holding on to forever. So it just really hit me pretty hard last night when he was talking about it. about forgiveness. So let's get on in here to this new moon in Virgo card reading. So I am using the Keepers of the Light Oracle card deck because it has a myriad of masters, all different types. And I just really want to see with this new moon in Virgo what's coming in. So it's going to be a 6-card pull here, 6-card reading. And this is the new moon intention activation spread. Now, with a new moon, remember, this is a time to kind of look back on all the things, all the goals, or the things that you set last new moon and see how you were doing. How is that coming along? And creating some new things to do. All right. So let's get this going. Thank you, angels, spirit guides, ancestors, for revealing to us what we need to know at this new moon in Virgo. We are willing to listen and are grateful for your guidance. The new moon actually isn't really happening until later this evening, and a lot of people are doing things tomorrow for the new moon. But I have some things going on tomorrow evening, and I just wanted to get this in before. I didn't want to not do this. And plus I want to see what we've got coming in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. All righty. Let's get this going here. Oh, I love it. One of my favorites has come in. He has been very present lately in some of my readings, the ones I've done with this deck, of course. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice. So the first card is the quality of intention. What is the quality of the intention for this new moon in Virgo? And it's what I was speaking about earlier, about our spiritual cleansing, right? Mahavatar Babaji. Mahavatar Babaji. Soul expansion. This is a time for us to continue in cleansing and clearing out all the behavior patterns. This is not a one and done situation, people. This is a whole life situation. So it says, your consciousness is expanding. You understand the connection between all things. And that's what that compassion comes around too. We see all things. We see that we're all connected. So Mahavatar Babaji is a very powerful father figure for a lot of people. And the quality of intention is soul expansion. That's a beautiful thing to get us kicked off with. So the second card is, how do I co-create for my most empowered self? And this one came up reversed. So it's Brigitte, the goddess of inner strength. So really standing strong and having our inner power here. And it says, move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. So that is how we co-create from our most empowered self. And that makes sense, is that we continue to strengthen our inner mentor, our soul, the person or that voice inside that is your intuition. Excuse me. So Brigitte, very powerful, very powerful. So inner strength, and that came up reversed. Let me grab my water here. So the third card, what action do I need to take to ignite my magic? Excuse me. And it's Sunat Kumara, light activation. This is a very powerful, deep card reading, my friends. Shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. So I hope you're seeing kind of what's going on here. We're talking about the soul. We're talking about inner strength. We're talking about shining our inner light. It's all coming from within. All right, the fourth card is, what do I need to do to co-create for my highest good? What do I need? And the Holy Spirit is here. The Holy Spirit. Expect miracles. Remember that only love is real. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. This is lovely. It is really pretty powerful what were the messages we're getting sent here right now, because this is a time for us to really go within ourselves. This new moon in Virgo, Virgo is all about details and having things, detailed and everything in a row. So let's really stay focused and look at our internal voice and what's going on there. The fifth card is, what is the potential outcome of my intention? And again, our intention is to expand our soul. So this is Paul the Venetian, experiencing grace. How beautiful. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Very wonderful. I'm loving all these positive messages, remembering that we are the ones that are in control of our destiny. That's right. I'm going to say that. We are. And depending on your mindset, don't get me wrong. I have good days, good moments, bad moments. But the more that we realize and know that the outcome, we expect miracles, can't get any better. Okay, so the last card is, how, if at all, do I course correct to be in better alignment with my intention? The Shekinah, the sacred self. Are you kidding me? Unleash your spirit, express your gifts, dance to the sacred rhythm of life. The theme is working on your inner self, working with your soul, pulling and using that inner strength, shining your light, expecting miracles, sharing your gifts with grace, getting out there. This is a wonderful time. If you've been working on things and you're ready to go out into the world with this new thing that you found, this gift that you found, now is the time to do it. All right, so I've got a couple of minutes here because I'm trying to keep these under 20 minutes if I can. So the card basically that's on the bottom of the deck is El Moria. And this is awakening presence. The universe is with you. Wear a cloak of protection and love. That is lovely. We have Mahavatar Babaji telling us we are expanding our soul. We have the goddess Brigid coming in with her inner power and remembering our inner strength. We have Sanat Kumara reminding us to shine our light. The Holy Spirit saying, expect miracles. Paul the Venetian saying, expect those miracles with grace. And the beautiful Shekinah saying, hey, this is your sacred self time. And then El Moria, awakening presence. Lovely. Lovely. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading for today. Hope it brought you some things to think about, to ponder on. And now this is a new moon, so we got to start getting to that full moon. So now the moon will start waxing, and I'll be back next week with a waxing moon card pull in an undisclosed location. I'll be in a different area next week, but I will be here. So I'm always sending you peace, love, and soul. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share. Feel free to leave a comment if something resonated with you. And I'll see you next week. Take care.